Aloha Friday, everyone. This is Shane Austin. I am here in Ireland right now, given Aloha Friday. I tried to go live, but every pub right now has live music and it's super loud, super cool, awesome, but not a great maybe atmosphere for Aloha Friday if you actually want to hear what I have to say. I wanted to get Dave on here as well. So Dave, you're gonna have to post in the comments maybe your response. I want to get some responses from you, but this is the first time we're not technically live since Tony Bodo's episode with the micro moments episode. If you go back to that one, we had some technical difficulties and had to end up posting a recorded version of Aloha Friday. So this is very similar. I don't have any service, so I have to rely on Wi-Fi. Anybody who's traveled abroad, they know the struggle is real. So still, hey, I'm here on my honeymoon, but it's still Aloha Friday, even though it's freezing out there. I might have to wear a scarf in this Aloha weather, but it's all good. It's all good, and it's beautiful. Truly grateful to be out here, and I wanted to talk about some observations I made today while trying to navigate driving on the opposite side of the road. I have driven on the opposite side of the road before when we were in Thailand, but we had mopeds. So this is the first time I've actually had the steering wheel on the right side, which anybody who's been there before, it's very different, unique. I want to get to that. But even in the live version of Aloha Friday, I always start with some trivia. So Dave, even if you're posting in the comments, I want to hear your answers. So I'm still going to throw out the trivia, comment on it, and let me know what you think, and I'll put the answers in here somewhere. Maybe I'll comment them in as well. But in honor of being in Ireland, in honor of St. Paddy's Day being right around the corner, we're going to do a little Irish trivia, see what you guys know about the Irish and St. Patrick. So, first one, number one, what is Ireland's national symbol? And I will give you a hint. It is a musical instrument. What musical instrument is Ireland's national symbol? That's question number one, and I will give you another hint on it, is it's actually the exact mirror of Guinness's logo. So if you think of what Guinness's logo is, you'll know what the Irish national symbol is. What musical instrument? Number two, what animal does not exist in this entire country because St. Patrick himself drove him out of Ireland, according to legend? St. Patrick drove this animal out of Ireland, and now none of them exist here anymore. So what animal did he, according to legend, drive out? Number three, and the last one, is name the famous Irish actor who played James Bond. Hopefully you can get that one. I know, Dave, you should be able to get this one. Anyways, I didn't even realize he was Irish, but anyways, he played James Bond, Irish actor. Those are your three. What is Ireland's national symbol? What animal did St. Patrick drive out of the country? And what famous Irish actor played James Bond? That's your trivia this week. Put in the comments. I'd love to see some of the answers. Now, maybe you go all the way to the end, and maybe I'll give the answers, and then you comment it in. Try to be honest. Let's be, have a little integrity here. Put in the answers. Go from memory, not Google. Just put in a guess, even if you don't know. Put in a guess. So with that said, I want to talk about the topic is driving on the wrong side of the road. And driving on the wrong side of the road in life, sometimes we feel like in our profession, in our sport, in our life, whatever it is, sometimes we feel like we're driving on the wrong side of the road because we're trying to go in the right direction, but it just doesn't feel right. You feel like you're hitting the rumble strips constantly. And I had a great I guess it's a metaphor, if you want to put it that way. But in reality today, so I know how to drive stick, but the stick is on the left side of the, it's now my left hand, and I'm driving stick. So obviously muscle memory, in times when I got to make a quick move, I go to my right arm and I hit the door right next to me. So that was the first thing that I had to deal with. But driving on the left side of the road, for those that have experienced it before, that being in the driver's seat is now on the right side, you're typically used to being on the left side, obviously, so the rest of the car is over here to your right. So you are working this line on the left, and you have a good awareness now that you've practiced driving. You've been driving your whole life, almost. It's second nature. You don't even have to think about it. So I want to talk about how really this plays under your subconscious mind, and that's really what I want to dive into, is this the way that this kind of resembles your subconscious mind and explains it in a great way. So your subconscious mind, it controls everything, just like your belief system dictates your reality, but it's to that deeper core level rather than just on the surface. The same thing with your subconscious. It's those things that you don't have to think about. They're muscle memory, they're habits. You just do them. And that's the same thing with driving, and that's sometimes the problem, is because our brains are so advanced that we get so good at being able to drive. Now it's second nature. We don't even have to think about it. That's when the multitasking comes in, and that's when we're doing our makeup in the mirror while we're driving. We're texting and driving. Some people I've even heard watching like a movie on their phone, which I don't recommend any of those. Distracted driving is not safe, but because our minds are so advanced, we're able to go into autopilot on the things that we already know, and then we can start doing some other things. And that's kind of the brilliance of our mind, but also sometimes the dangers of our mind as well. And it really was displayed when I had to flip everything. Now I'm on the opposite side of the road. Now I have to hug the line on this right side, my right shoulder. And I noticed, even though I was aware that this is different, and I was trying to handle it the best that I could, I noticed I would favor the left, because my body is used to being on the left side of this lane. If we're just talking about the lane, I'm kind of over the left wheel. So I just naturally, my body would, or my mind, the little muscle memory would take me there, and then the left side of the car now is going over the rumble strips or the side, and we had some close calls where Megan's freaking out, like I almost hit the curb and whatnot. But there's a lot of people have gotten in accidents that way because they're so used to that. And because I'm aware of it, I'm trying to hug the lane, or I'm trying to hug the line. But if I was focused on it, I'm fine. But as soon as I maybe read a sign, an overpass thing, somewhere that just slightly distracted myself to where I go back into autopilot, I noticed I would just go right back in. Immediately would start to hit the outer line, and I would hit the bumps or the reflectors. And it just goes to show that our minds go on autopilot so quickly when something is ingrained and something is habit for us. And if we have developed negative habits, if we've developed things that self-sabotage us, we're going to feel like we're going the wrong direction all the time. We're going to feel like we keep drifting off into the rumble strips, even when we feel like we're hugging the right side, because we have not accepted it. We have not truly believed it from within. As athletes, you have to train it over and over and over again to where you don't have to think about it. Because if you have to think about it on the field, if I have to think about throwing, I'm not thinking about the defense now. I'm not able to read coverage because I'm thinking of the little mechanics. So you have to rep it over and over again just to get the mechanics to be second nature, to now you can focus on what you truly need to focus on. Now you can focus on where the destination is that you're going, not just how do I avoid getting in an accident right now, because you don't get anywhere very efficiently when you're just avoiding accident all the time. And when you think about life, if our belief system is not supporting the direction that we're going, we're going to start to drift off into that rumble strip, because we can't always be focused on that. We need to be able to develop it to where it is second nature. And when I'm talking about that with a belief system is something that you need to work on, just like you would work a muscle in the gym. And you have to train it consistently so that it really believes it from a core, from a subconscious level back here, not on the front, on the surface. You might think you're believing it, but then you hit crunch time, then the pressure hits, and then you try to do self-talk to try to get yourself into gear, and your mind knows you're BSing. You knows you're BSing because you haven't supported that before. You haven't supported those thoughts. You haven't done it on a consistent basis. And when you really start filtering in those positive influences, and you surround yourself with the right people, you get those positive affirmations to where you are buying in to that belief, whatever. Maybe it's a goal, maybe it's a desire, whatever it is that you're striving to become. If you're not consistently practicing it, if you're not making it a part of who you are each and every day, you can't just tap into it when you need it most. When now I got the keys and now I got to drive on the left side of the road, it's a little out of my comfort zone where I got to focus on it. Or if I lose focus for 1 second, I just my mind goes into autopilot. How many times do we go into autopilot and it derails us? I got pretty close to derailing today. I'm safe. I'm gonna continue, prayers that I, stay safe and I'm driving good. But how many times do we get derailed when we're not focused? We need to get into that habit of making things second nature to where we don't need to think about it, where success becomes the habit, it becomes the expectation. When I've been on the winning teams, it's because we expected to win. Even when we were losing, we knew that we were going to win somehow. We didn't know how, but we kicked into autopilot and we found a way. And the same goes in your life, in your business, in whatever you put your focus to. If you're practicing it, if you are training your mind, if you are believing it each and every day, then it's something that you can rely on when the pressure's on and when it really counts. So I do have good news that, maybe you feel like you're going in the wrong direction, and you feel like you're hitting the rumble strips and you're getting resistance constantly. But the good news is that it can be trained. It can be something that you can work on. And again, it is a habit. You have to make it a habit. You have to make it a daily practice. You have to make it a focus. Like right now, if I'm on the left lane, left side of the road, something that I'm not used to, I have to focus until that becomes a habit. So now I know by the end of the trip, I'm going to be a great driver on the opposite side. And now I'm going to have to rethink how to do it once I get back to the States, and I'll probably be all screwed up. But it does take initial focus to be able to develop that skill, or to develop that confidence, or to develop that belief system. So it takes a focused effort until it becomes second nature. And I'm not saying then you just give up on it and then you just, okay, now I've got it, I'm good. No, Tom Brady, he doesn't just, now that he's 40, well, I've won so many Super Bowls, I could probably stop training and it'll just come. No, you're either getting better or you're getting worse. So you're gonna continue to lose it slightly. I will lose this skill of driving if I don't practice it. So if you are constantly practicing it, it doesn't take as much effort once you've developed a habit of it. Once you've developed it into your subconscious, then it's just little shifts to get you back on track. Maria Sharapova is a great example. I was just listening to a podcast of hers not that long ago, and she was talking about how she was struggling in this tournament in Rome, and she was down and she was looking like she was gonna lose, and she just had a little bit of positive self-talk to where she told herself, I can do this, I can do this, I can win this match. And just that little shift got her back to the point where she could come back, and she made a comeback and won. Now, on the other hand, she is developed her mindset. She has developed a strong belief system to where that self-talk instantly can shift her in that moment when she needs it. If she wasn't working on that, and then she was just filtering, bad thoughts in there, or maybe it's negative influences, the world is out to get me, oh, poor me kind of mindset. She's developing weeds rather than planting the seeds of things that actually you want to grow. And when you do that self-talk, just in that moment, again, the BS alert comes on and your mind doesn't truly believe it. You cannot BS yourself in that moment. You can BS yourself consistently. You can bullshift your mind into believe something that you've never accomplished before, but that has to be a daily practice. It has to be an affirmation that you're saying in the morning, at night. I have to really believe right now that I can drive on the opposite side of the road, even though I've never done it before. I have to bullshift myself into believing and being confident that I can drive with any of these guys that have been doing all their lives. Obviously, that's a very small, simple example, but it goes with everything. Anything in life, it takes that focus, and to be able to develop that skill, to be able to develop that confidence. And that's what it takes to be able to rely on it. Then it's easy. Then it becomes second nature. You don't have to put in all this work and effort to try to fix things. So that's kind of my rant, a very unique Aloha Friday, because I'm just here on my soapbox this time. I don't get to grill Dave or anything like that. That's usually my favorite part of Aloha Fridays. I get to make fun of him a little bit, but well, I'm sure you'll say something in the comments. But yeah, no, so next week I'll be in London, so we'll see how the Wi-Fi is. Should be, we'll see. Maybe it's the same deal like this. But other than that, as always, we always finish with, quote of the week, tip of the day, things that I'm listening to or reading right now. What else do we have? Jeez, I don't have my agenda in front of me. I'm winging it today. So, quote of the week, again, in the spirit of Ireland and Irish, I had to use Oscar Wilde, great Irishman right there. Experience is simply the name we give our mistakes. I don't even have to explain it. I love that one. And then some of the things, I think we'll give the tip of the day from Dave. Dave, just post a video in the comments with the tip of the day and the review of the week, all of that stuff. Maybe you want to go in line with this topic, maybe talking about the subconscious, whatever you want. It's your tip. Some of the things I'm listening to, I'm actually, since I've been on this trip, I haven't been listening to any of the audiobooks or podcasts I normally do, but I was reading actually on my phone a book called Tao of Seneca, and it's really, Seneca, Roman philosopher. Actually, he wasn't born in Rome, but I think he was raised in Rome. Ancient philosophy, but it's not, philosophy is great. It's just like, sometimes philosophy is like, oh, that sounds cool, but this is practical. This is actionable stuff. Seneca is brilliant stuff. Definitely look up his stuff. Talks about, facing fear, talks about really embracing the day, enjoying the moment, and controlling what you can control. The things that are out of our control is, we tend to worry too much about these things that don't even happen. And he's just brilliant stuff. So I definitely recommend that one, Tao of Seneca. I guess something I want to listen to, because we're going to be in Galway tomorrow, is we'll just say Galway Girl by Ed Sheeran. Definitely want to be blasting that tomorrow. Other than that, Dave, throwing the tip of the day, review of the week. That is Aloha Friday here in Ireland. Next week, I'll be in London. We'll see what happens. We'll see how the Wi-Fi works out. But thank you all for tuning in. And again, Aloha Friday, where greatness is made casual. And if you've lasted this far and you're still here and you're listening, I will give you the answers to the trivia from before. So what is Ireland's national symbol? It is the harp. It's also on Guinness, but it's the reverse. Guinness had to mirror image it because copyright, stuff like that. What animal did St. Patrick drive out of the country? Snakes. According to legend, there are no snakes in this entire country because of St. Patrick. He got rid of the snakes. And then the last one, name the famous Irish actor who played James Bond. Pierce Brosnan. Come on, guys. Pierce Brosnan. All right, I'm out. Peace.